So what's up, guys? It's Ricky here. This is a Reality Show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. And so I did the Genesis 1, finding the cross in Genesis 1:1. And so today I wanted to go to the next word. We're gonna come back to Bereshit because we're not done over there. These videos will be put out hopefully one every single week, and so I'm gonna be looking at different subjects. Then you guys will vote which one, which means on the Thursdays then I'll put out a poll to say which one do you want to see this week, and then we'll do that. Okay, so today we are going to find something that you might be thinking, okay, how far does this go? So we did in the beginning, okay, in the beginning, and then now we are going to the word God. We are looking at the pentagraph, which is the old version, which is like more like pictures. I think that's what it's called. If I'm wrong, it happens. And then we're gonna look at it in the modern Hebrew as well. Okay, God, which appears as Elohim. The first letter in Elohim, it's Aleph. Okay, so Aleph is the first word. So you will see it illustrated like an ox head, which is illustrating strength, or a king, which is symbolic of God. The second letter, it's Lamet. Okay, so Lamet, funny thing is this, it's illustrated with a staff in the old pentagraph, but then if you look at it on thingy, it's just like something like that. Third letter is Hey. Okay, third letter is Hey. It's got this kind of like a box thing that's going there, but then if you look at it in the pentagraph, you will see it's like a person holding out their hands, kind of like in a needy way. It's kind of like trying to draw an attention, like the way a child would. The fourth one is Yod, which is illustrated kind of like a small little comma thing on the top up there. But then if you look at it in the pentagraph, it appears like a small little arm, kind of like a thing, kind of like those old games that you would have played. This illustrates deed, or an arm. And then you go to the last letter, which is Mem. Okay, and so Mem, if you look at it from thingy, it looks like a block in the modern Hebrew. Mem is illustrated like kind of like waves if you look at it in the pentagraph, but then that's because in the pentagraph what you're looking at is water, or an illustration of chaos. Now, it's been said that there is a high possibility that when David was writing the Psalm 23, which is the most famous psalm of all, he might have been looking at this particular chapter right here, because if you think of it, interpret it, it says Aleph is right at the top, so the Lord. The second letter is my shepherd, which is what? Lamet. Go to the next letter, which is Hey. I shall not want, like the child looking for attention, I shall not want. Then you go to the next letter, which is Yod. Remember, Yod means what? A deed or a work or something like that. It says, He leads me to the still waters. And then by still waters, it's the last word. It's the last word that you were looking at there, which is Mem. Think about that. And it's so funny that in the very word Elohim, which is illustrated in the Genesis 1:1, you find the beginning of the chapter of Psalm 23. That's amazing. And so in the full one, we'll do probably the whole sentence, because if you look at it before you go to the thing which Jews don't know how to interpret, you'll find there are 7 letters in total. And so the funny thing is this: in all these 7 letters, what else do you know that is 7? That is anything to do with 7. It's all over the Bible. Okay, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In the Hebrew, it gives you 7 words. And then you have that letter that they don't know what to interpret it as, standing in the middle of all these 3 on the side and 1. That brings us back to the rest of God. This issue of people talk about Sabbath. Listen, the rest, it's in the mystery, which was Christ. It was not revealed. So the anchor of it, remember, the middle letter is not revealed. They don't know how to interpret it. And guess what that is? That's that aspect of godliness that comes out of Christ. Is the deity part of Christ. The rest, remember, 7 days, 7 letters. The rest that comes out of it, it's all found in Christ. The Lord revealed in that Elohim word that we just talked about right now, guess what? It goes all the way into the Sabbath. It goes all the way back into the rest that we now have within salvation, where it is not by the yod. Why? Because he leadeth me to the still waters. The still waters is the John chapter number 4, where God is revealing that if you knew, you would have asked. Anybody that's trying to do their way into salvation, you are doomed, fam. Why? Because you can't get there by your yod. And guess what? Remember the last word? The last word, mem? Mem being thingy. Remember I said it stands for two words, water and chaos. Now, if you let your mem, your hand, your deed to try and lead you to salvation, guess what you will find? Chaos, which is that last word right there. So we have to be careful about the message of salvation, because it's very clear. He leadeth me beside the still waters. The still waters is his rest. Fam, you can't. It's Ricky, this is a reality show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. If somebody sent you this video, do subscribe to the rest of the channel. It's the Church Reality Check. If you look at it, we haven't scratched the surface. This book could not be written by a man. This book is deep at its highest level. It's Ricky. I gotta go, and I will see you later on. Salute to the brethren, and let us continue learning in 2020. Quarantine doesn't mean you are held back. Quarantine means time for God and you. It's Ricky, and I'll see you later. Salute!